just came to bed. I lie down on the floor, so I have the gunshot, pow.
A woman fears for her life after a bullet flies through her home, hitting her in the leg a month after moving in. One Prince George's County woman says she's ready to leave. Her disturbing story coming up.
And bridging Arlington to D.C., plans for a massive new infrastructure project now in the works, but it comes with a $20 million price tag. Where the money is coming from and just how far away it is from becoming reality, our Mariel Carbone lays it all on the table.
It's important to me that his legacy is out there.
Reflecting on the life of a Maryland Battalion Chief, Joshua Laird, who died in the line of duty a year ago today. His widow tells us of the legacy he left behind.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz.
And I'm Mark Hall, filling in for Chris Flanagan. Our top story tonight, Prince George's County police are investigating a shooting in Greenbelt, Maryland that caused a stray bullet to injure a woman.
Yeah, that's right. Our reporter Yamarie Sase joins us live at the scene. And Yamarie, you spoke to the victim. How is she doing?
Yeah, the entire incident took place at this apartment complex directly behind me, and the woman honestly said she's scared for her life, and that's the reason why she did not want to be identified. Now, this bullet went through her apartment wall and hit her leg. Warning, some of the photos in this story may be graphic.
Around 4 a.m. on Wednesday, Prince George's County Police responded to a call at an apartment complex on Greenbelt Road.
I was in my room. I just came to bed. I lie down on the floor, so I have the gunshot, pow. Before I get up, I see my foot bleeding.
The stray bullet came through right under this third-floor window and into this bedroom wall, hitting this Greenbelt woman.
So my feet was bleeding. I take something to tie it up, and then I wake up my roommate. I say, wow, they shot me. So they call 911 and go with me to the hospital.
A traumatic situation for her, and the fear still lingers.
Even right now, I'm scared. Even I can't sleep in my room. I sleep in the living room because I was so scared. Even something dropped now, I was scared because of my situation right now.
Later that night, Greenbelt police responded to another shooting near Greenbelt Mall. The victim walked into the hospital and is expected to survive. I reached out to Greenbelt police. They told me they're seeing an increase in certain crimes and a decrease in others. Prince George's County police say they're still investigating the shooting that hurt the woman. And she says she just doesn't feel safe in her own home anymore. But she's grateful it wasn't worse.
I really don't want to live here anymore. If I want to find another site to go, but I don't have the money to go start and pay all over. My feet is still bleeding a little bit, still having the pains, but I thank God for everything.
Yeah, Greenbelt police told me that when they see a pattern in crime, they do increase patrols in the area, but they're encouraging anyone, if they see any suspicious activity, to give them a call or give PGPD a call. Reporting in Greenbelt, Maryland, I'm Yamarie Sase, DC News Now.
Yamarie, thank you. Well, the Frederick County, Maryland community is reflecting on the life of a battalion chief. Joshua Laird died in the line of duty a year ago today. Our Cheyenne Corin spoke with his widow, Sarah, who describes her husband as a dedicated career firefighter, great father and partner, and servant to the community.
It's important to me that his legacy is out there and his story, because he was such a good human being.
On August 11th, 2021, Captain Joshua Laird died while fighting a large house fire in Ivesville, Maryland. He served 21 years with the Frederick County Division of Fire and Rescue Services. His wife, Sarah, describes her husband as a selfless person who always put others before himself.
He got hired in the Frederick, and that was his dream. His dream was to be a career fireman.
Following his death, Captain Laird was promoted to the rank of battalion chief. Sarah Laird says she met her husband, Josh, at only 17 years old, and he also leaves behind their two daughters, ages 15 and 13.
It's hard on them, but they also know that their dad would want them to go on.
According to Fire and Rescue, the investigation into the cause of the blast was done by an external review committee and is not yet finalized. But Sarah says, in her opinion, her husband's death could have been prevented if a product called CCST was not installed in the home.
I believe a direct quote from the cause and origin of that report is that the cause of the fire was failure of the residential corrugated stainless steel tubing under lightning conditions.
While Sarah's advocating so other families don't lose their loved ones the same way, her main priority is to make her husband proud and be strong for her family.
Today's a hard day. I have hard days here and there. You know, life has to go on, and that's what he would want.
Reporting in Frederick County, Maryland, I'm Cheyenne Karen for DC News Now.
Our thoughts and prayers with your family tonight. And also, Fairfax County Police are holding a man they say is responsible for yesterday's murder of a woman who was set on fire. Police have charged 47-year-old Richard Montana of Arlington. Officers say he stabbed 40-year-old Kelly Vakeabica in her apartment at the Villages at Falls Church, then set her on fire. Meanwhile, friends dropped off flowers and other items right outside the victim's apartment. They say she's already missed and told us what made her so special.
A great person, always smiling, with a great sense of humor.
Lo máximo. She was the best friend, the best mother around the world, the best person around the world.
Montana is charged with second-degree murder, burglary with intent to commit murder, and burning of an occupied dwelling. Police say Montana and the victim knew one another, but they were not romantically involved. They're still trying to find out a motive for this crime.
New tonight, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is issuing a new request for the Defense Department to free up the D.C. National Guard. It's to help with logistical support and processing migrants coming in from Texas and Arizona. The mayor's first request was rejected last week. Meanwhile, D.C. Attorney General Carl Racine told today pledged to grant money to nonprofit groups supporting migrants, and we spoke with one of the volunteers.
They have experienced so much trauma. They have been going from one place to the other, some for months. And when they are sent through the buses here, they may be spending anything from 34 hours, 48 hours, etc. So it's a long journey.
And you can read more about the efforts from local leaders on our website, dcnewsnow.com.
And a multi-million-dollar investment connecting Arlington to D.C. Now, today, the Department of Transportation announced $20 million in funding for the Long Bridge Bicycle and Pedestrian Crossing Project, and that money is part of the bipartisan infrastructure deal. Our reporter Mariel Carbone is live at Toig Park right now. Mariel, that's actually one of the connection points.
It is, Tasmin, but you won't be using the bridge from this park anytime soon. The project isn't completed or slated to be completed until 2030. Still, this funding, it is a big step forward in connecting East and West Potomac parks across the river to Long Bridge Park in Arlington. Plus, it'll also help take some pressure off the railroad bridge here.
For more than 100 years, Long Bridge has carried its fair share of weight. But a new project will help lighten the load.
I feel like it could be a good thing.
Thursday, the Department of Transportation announced a $20 million award to the Virginia Passenger Rail Authority. The money will help build a bike and pedestrian bridge from Long Bridge Park to East and West Potomac parks. It's part of a larger $2 billion project to build a new passenger rail line bridge, separating freight and commercial traffic from the current bridge.
Anytime there is a new span across a river, that is a major victory, especially when it is protected.
Callie Crumpos is with the Washington Area Bicyclists Association, which is a big supporter of the project.
Having more options where those users do feel safe will greatly increase the numbers that we see, and will make sure that they continue to feel safe.
The group calls this a win, but is still pushing to make sure the design will make sense for years to come.
Make sure that it actually is wide enough for all the users that will want to walk and bike across.
According to DOT, the project will have separate lanes for bikes and pedestrians, cutting down traffic and making it more accessible and affordable to cross the river.
Right now, the only way really to walk is the whole Mount Vernon Trail over Memorial Bridge, which is like 7 miles.
Molly Holden, who walks the area often, supports the project.
I think it'd be great. I think walkable access is something that Virginia should be focusing on.
So does Deontay Miles.
That's another way for people to get out and exercise a little bit.
Now, this funding, it'll only help cover about a quarter of the project. It's going to be more than $80 million in total just for that pedestrian bridge. Still, the Railroad Authority tells me this is a big step in helping reach its ultimate goal, which is making it safer to cross the river here for pedestrians and cyclists. Reporting live in Potomac Park, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Marielle, thank you. So another big chunk of money from this grant will go towards expanding DDOT's clean energy bus fleet. We want to tell you more about that. So the 17 additional buses will help cut down on pollution by moving away from fossil fuels. And in Ward 8, a 4-mile walking and biking trail will extend the Anacostia Riverwalk Trail network into the southernmost areas of the district. The trail will start on South Capitol Street and then end at the Oxon Hill Farm Trail for a price tag of $10 million.
Well, Maryland Metro Access workers are ending a 9-day strike after reaching a tentative agreement with private contractor Transdev today. More than 200 transit union members have been on strike since August 1st, seeking better pay, health care, and retirement benefits. A new 3-year contract from Transdev includes those asks. The union will vote on whether to accept the contract in the coming days.